Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Mindful SMP. As you can see, I've got a golem friend, and that's because of something I did with the villagers. Last episode, I'd brought the two villagers that I had trapped over here, and I ended up moving them downstairs and setting up a really crude little breeder here, where these guys would hang out and throw carrots at each other, and then I would collect the babies they made, and I put them down here. So I have about 8 villagers trapped down here, and I'm trying to work out some trades, which of course, as you know, is really boring and tedious. There's a few enchantments that I want to make sure we always have access to, like mending. So I'm going to spend some time working on that. The other thing I want to do is I want to continue going down here, and I want to create a food source. And I'm thinking I want to do a chicken farm, because that's automated. And if I go down far enough, I shouldn't be able to hear them. This here is the cave where Lautner and Dee had found their axolotls right at the beginning of the season, so we're starting to get down to that level. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a hopper and see if I can get some baby chicks in here. Well, not great luck, but a couple. We're going to let these guys grow up and start laying eggs, and we'll just collect them in the hopper. And once we have some eggs, then we can create a chicken farm. The other thing I want to do up here is across from our little villager breeder, excuse me, sir, I think I want to build a little pumpkin farm, and that way we'll have pumpkins to trade with farmers, and then the farmers can give us emeralds that we can trade for books. So I'm going to see if I can stick a pumpkin farm in this space here, and as far as a design, I've looked at a couple online. And everybody seems to have opinions about what is the most effective. I'm just going to kind of wing it and see if I can come up with something that fits in this space and that works. Oh, that was close. Let's make sure nothing's on fire. We're good. So this sort of thing I've built before, and the way it works is the minecart comes up here, and you can see this rail on top of the hopper there is powered. What will happen is once the minecart is up there with items in it, they'll start to drain into this hopper, and the comparator will sense that. It'll send a signal into this block, which turns off the torch, which unpowers this block, which turns off the repeater, so this block is not powered, and the rail won't get any power. So the minecart will just sit there. As soon as it's done emptying its items, the hopper is empty, so the comparator turns back off, which means this torch is not being powered, so it can turn back on, power this block, repeater pushes the signal into here, which repowers the track and sends the minecart on its way. Okay, so we've got 6 pumpkin plants in here and a whole bunch of places for them to grow. And then underneath our dirt here, we have the minecart running back and forth, and it will deposit the pumpkins here. So I figure what we'll do is we'll turn one of these guys into a farmer so we can grab the pumpkins and trade with them and start getting emeralds. Well, hello, Mr. Farmer. Mindful SMP is sponsored by MC Pro Hosting. If you want to play on a server with friends, you can save 20% by using the code MINDFUL at checkout. One thing that's popped up recently is this really nice looking building over here with the copper roof. And it turns out that this is a farm. Not sure who it was, but somebody discovered that very close to the surface was a skeleton spawner. You can see it's not completed yet. It's only the front of a building, but the spawner is right there, like literally right under the ground. And so if you hang out here, the skeletons will come on through and then you can get them here. Mobs that are carrying a weapon drop more XP than a mob that's not, so a skeleton spawner is a better source of XP than a zombie spawner. Plus, the skeletons are dropping arrows and bones for bone meal, so this is a really, really useful farm. Since we now have access to a skeleton farm, I think I want to play a little bit with some of the new mechanics regarding our zombie farm. Specifically, if we can turn the zombies into drown, there's a chance they will drop copper ingots. Now, even under best circumstances, some of the very best farms that I've seen still aren't all that efficient. They will drop, I think the maximum I've seen is like 4 stacks of copper per hour, so not very much. It's actually faster, I think, to mine. But since it's a new mechanic, I thought we should play with it a little bit. Let's see, if I stick a sign there, get these guys out of the way. Put water right there? No. Here? There we go. So now they should be sitting in water. And I think it takes them 30 seconds before they get to the point where they start shaking. Okay, this guy is doing the shaking thing back there. Obviously the short guys here, they're underneath the water, so that's not going to work. This guy should turn into a drown in just a couple of seconds. There he goes. So if I wait just a little bit, eventually a bunch of them should turn into drowns, and then see what we get. It's a little bit of a pain because they start swimming when they're drowned and you have to kind of kneel down to get at them. I did get 1 copper ingot out of that, so it works at least. So this sword I'm using, it doesn't have looting, so I'm only getting the normal drops. If you have looting, it actually increases. Plus, I'm still in 1.17 right now. The new 1.17.1 update actually increases the amount of copper that Drown will drop significantly. With some adjustments, we might be able to turn this into a functional copper farm, but we'll save that for a future episode. Back at the base, I had a wandering trader stop by, and I was able to get a couple of new heads. I got Wolfo, and I got Tusi. This is starting to work out just great. We've got pumpkins, and then I've come up with a farmer who has a pumpkin trade. We can start to get emeralds. Okay, and then finally I wanted to show you guys what ended up happening down here. I got those chicken eggs going, and what I've got back here is just a little circuit, which I've built a bunch of times before. It's just a comparator watching for things to appear in here, and if something appears in here, it shoots it out. I took this signal up to another dispenser where I've got lava. And so every time an egg is hatched, it gets shot out by the dispenser, and there's a chance it'll turn into a baby chicken. That same signal is going to launch a lava blade. So these guys are going to be safe, but the adult chickens, once they get a little taller, they're going to get cooked. Hopefully we'll have some cooked chicken pretty soon. To wrap up this episode, I want to break these diamond ore now that we have fortune on our pick and see how many diamonds we've actually got here. Well, we got half a stack out of that. That's not bad at all. And I think that's where we're going to wrap this one up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had fun. Please like and subscribe if you want to follow along on the adventure, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.